Hello, this is the fishing wheel again. This is my latest project in knife making. It's not really sure what you would call it. A friend of mine asked me to make him something that he can actually do some fine cuts and also use it for barbecuing and hack and slash, like a pork shoulder in half. So this is my version of what I came up with. The edge itself is not done yet. Not 100% done. It's pretty close. It's a pretty good edge already. How I got there is, well, first of all, I just keep talking. I'm not a professional knife maker. This is a pretty good size blade. It's 7.5 inches. So with the handle, it's like 11.5. Without the handle, what do we see there? 7.5. And here for comparison, this is a pretty good heavy duty blade. I don't know, it probably comes in at like at least maybe 3/4 of a pound or something. So we have some lines here. This actually marks the wood I used, which is Purple Heart. Look how pretty it is as it ages. Like a couple of weeks, it's gonna look like this. If you fresh cut it, it looks like that. So you don't have this effect, but it'll look like this. So here it would go like this. The handle here I have already made. This is where it comes from. And as it locks in here, and this is where it actually was. So you can see that you actually lose quite some material as you go. So plan ahead for loss, so you don't, as you chisel it out later on and drill your holes, it doesn't come through. So it comes from here. This is the downside. That was the upside. And here I have my trusty triangle. This shows me what is what, so I can always find them back together. So this was in here. That was here, obviously. This is where this piece comes from. And this is I believe it's a 13/16. They probably call this 3/4 or maybe even 1 inch for some reason. And in millimeters, it is 21 millimeters. So I got all these cross members in already drilled. So obviously you need a 1/4 inch drill. Use a 1/4 inch dowel, and you drill through your metal. Align it with your handle. Drill through before you actually do any chiseling. And I do this on my drill press here. And this is just a router then. So first you got your drill in, obviously, to make a pilot for the router, because the router itself does not have a pilot. Actually, in the center it's dull, and it just grinds it out. And there's a little like pin sticking up in the hole. You take out with a little chisel or a screwdriver, whatever fits in the hole, doesn't really matter. But be careful if you have no guide. No, this can go anywhere. Don't get your fingers close. If it runs off, just let go. Sacrifice your handle better than sacrificing your fingers. So, and then I have made these little cross members here. I numbered them just for the sake of it. I can actually just put them in here. For example, don't have to be exact. Well, they aren't be exact. Let's see. I do know this is one. Okay, one is here. I know that. Just 5. I numbered them so I know where to put them back together. So 6. Okay, 6. 2. Here's 3. So I'm missing the 4. There's a 4, probably. Is this a 4? Yes, 4. Okay, it goes on here. This is all chiseled out. Put this on. Let's see. Okay, so you can actually line it up. This is pre-formed because I knew I'm not going to be able, to do all these forms once the blade is on. I mean, how are you going to shape this without scratching the blade? Yeah, and it's going to fit the hand, and this is very solid. Okay, this is how we did this. So to chisel this out, obviously, I'm a master carver. I got all these tools here. This just for a straight cut, but really all you need is just a straight chisel to go along. Once you marked the outline, just go along, chisel it in. Obviously, you need a hammer, beat on it, and then also just use it, chisel it off, and your cross members you have already most likely, and just modify as it goes. Your holes, they were there already. Your center holes were there already to accept the 1/4 inch or whatever diameter you choose. Dowel, just modify them a little bit, and then just make sure it all fits back together nicely. Let's see if I can get this on. And then I'm still gonna polish it a little bit, polish the edges a little bit, and I'm gonna use some wax on that really brings out the fiber of this and the overall appearance. It makes it look like wet, but it's really solid. So I'm not sure about this. This probably needs to be cleaned up here. So at this point, we just really want to charge or grind down, or polish the cutting edge. So, but here is this thing. I got a chisel wheel, mounted on my drill. It goes really fast if you have to. So just for show and tell. So see the way it goes. You want this basically going from the back to the front of your cutting edge. If you go the other way around, it's going to catch, obviously. So what you're going to do in this case is, I'm thinking, just go straight down, because if you go too fast this way, it's going to catch like this. For example, if I go slow, it just roll over the other edge. So you go like this. Polish it. Same here. So on this side, if you want to clean up, you gotta change it around. Go the other way. And just finishing this way. It's vibrating a lot because all I have is the handle part in the vise, so all this can actually really vibrate a lot since it's a large blade. This is a large blade, and what I used to in the past is so the sisal is pretty abrasive, and I'm using this compound here. You put this on first. That helps actually take down metal. And this is called jeans. Like jeans, your jeans. I guess this is just jeans fibers sewn together, fit on the same arbor here. But I'm thinking the secret ingredients in the past to use last, even on my carving knives, which I can show you here. They are made by Stubai. Stubai is actually the Stubai Valley in Germany, and they are made by a blacksmith in the Stubai Valley in Germany. They are all blacksmiths, every single one. I have several here. I have some here. See, all this is blacksmithed by hand from the Stubai Valley. So this is what I used to actually chisel out the part where the blade goes into the handle. And I'm using these guys here to polish the wheel, to polish the blade. I mean, it's the sisal and the jeans, and I need this actually for the cutting compound. It's really just putting some, I guess, sanding agent to the wheel, and the wheel applies it to your blade. Makes it really smooth, sharp too, and especially the felt that actually puts it down to a really sharp edge, gets rid of the burr. Okay, everybody, here I glued it all up. There was a little bit of break in between, so I used wood glue on this. I have like some old Tide Pond Tide Bond 3 waterproof. This is a couple of years old, so I don't really trust it anymore. Now, every glue has a shelf life. I believe these babies, they have like 4 to 5 years shelf life. They're water based, so you know when water gets bad, you know it's like it's good for a while, but eventually it'll not work anymore. There's not much in there anymore. I decided. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. So I decided just to buy a new little bottle here from the local hardware store. It's $5. You know, better safe than sorry. And I know this is good. If I never ever need it again, I just throw it out, and I wasted $5 or $4.50 because I used some on this handle here. So I did this the other day. So you can see I have these Irwins. I really like them. They have some sort of like a fine thread on them, compared to other clamps. They have a more of a coarse thread. Very sufficient, but I think I can get more pressure on release than with like a Bessie or something. So in this one is just, you know, keep everything in place. It's obviously not gluing to the metal. Here, this is some runoff which comes off. This I think I did earlier already. So this, it does not stick to the metal, but it'll stick to the wood, obviously. So I gotta kind of clean this up a little bit with some chiseling tools, and and here's some residue when I glued it up first. This comes right off the blade. I have like a moist old sock. It's water, no worries here. So and this will wipe right off. So let's see. Here again, it's one-man job. Let's see, you can get this off without any larger accidents here. Right one. This is a big one here. Tall, I should say, not big. All right, there you go. On this one. Get this baby off. So this is really just to prevent those what are these called, the pots or something, from the clamp to dig into the wood. I have like a softer wood that actually can take the beating instead of the handle. Okay, so this is what it looks like. There's a little bit. This is not really 100% the same than when I had it back together and sanded it, but I knew this is going to happen because you never ever get this back together the way it was 100%. So since it's not finished yet, I can still smoothen this out with some sandpaper. But overall, see these gaps here. This is actually a gap between the two pieces. I can actually fill this in with some wood glue, and then, you know, just sand it over. I mean, there's nothing else you can do actually. And then this should be good to go, I'm thinking. So so it's to my friend. I hope he likes it, and if not, well, I take it back. Okay, so this is this part, and I'm gonna work on this hand a little bit, really just some sandpaper, and make this nice and smooth. It is actually, if you look at it, is pretty close all over, up here, down there. I just make it a little bit better, and then I'm gonna put some wax on. For now, this is it. Okay, This is I guess it was pretty much ready to get a good edge on. The handle is glued on. What I'm used here is the stone, rough side, smooth side. So what do you use for a chisel? I think it's like a whatever, like a 5,000 grit or a 2,000 grit, 5,000 grit. You can buy any you want. I prefer water. Put them in water and make it mag. You can use this stone for water or oil. So I like water because there's water everywhere. Now, even if you're stranded with your car, there's obviously some coolant in your radiator if you have to. But be creative. There's always some liquid somewhere at some point, and it's easy. It's environmentally friendly as well because it's not oily. And water, just need to touch it. Okay, cool. Clean it off. So then I put this edge on here. I wonder if you can actually see this really good. Here, I guess it has a problem focusing here. I'm gonna have this pretty good shiny here all the way around. And then what I did is, as well, on my drill, I have this like felt. This is what I use for my carving knives. This is like felt, and as you spin it, you put this compound on, this grinding compound. This is gonna last your lifetime. Mate, this is unbelievable, and it really polishes out the edge of your blade, carving knife, any knife. And then here, now I'm gonna start to put the wax on. So just some wax here, and see the difference then, I guess. See how this already pops as you go. And the good thing with the wax is, first of all, this is actually waterproof. You can use this on wood floors as well. It doesn't matter if you go over it again, you go this way or you go that way, or you do it over and over, does not matter. So once it's dry, in a couple of hours, I'll probably wait till tomorrow because I'm not in a rush, but it doesn't really matter. Excuse me. If this is dry in a couple of hours, you use a brush, the dirtiest brush you can possibly find, it does not matter. Or you use this rag, or use an old sock, or whatever you had. This is dirty as gets. See, you go over this, and you can shine this up. And if it gets dull, just use a dirty old sock that you have laying around in your shop anyways, with grease on, oil on, doesn't really matter. And you shine it up again. And you can go over it again with the wax. Put more on, just as we did before. And there will be no streaks, there will be no overlap, no visible overlap, no nothing. Here again, and use your old sock, your old dirty sock, go over it, and this will work every single time, as often as you want. So I'm gonna finish this, and I'm guessing then by tomorrow it probably will be done, and I show you how shiny it gets. Okay, here it is, out of the clamps, and cleaned up a little bit. So we waxed it up. Take your old sock again. See, this is the oldest one I can find. It's not me wearing it, but it's just hanging in the basement. And just go over it and shine it up. And you know, if it gets dull, just shine it up again, go over it, just rub it. I hope it shows. Get a good shine on it. See, not much to it. I find this the best finish. It's just because it's so easy to work with. I hope this you can see this. So this is dull. Can you see the smears? I put a WD-40 on just to prevent it from rusting. I sharpened it a little bit. It probably can be a little bit sharper. I tried cutting little baby or grape tomatoes. It's actually pretty good. It's not too bad. Oh. So, oh, that didn't work. There you go. So I think it's sufficient. And well, this is for my friend. It just needs to be delivered. I don't know what I'm gonna call this. Maybe weird. Pretty big handle, you know. He wants to hack and slash pork shoulders to fit him in the smoker or something. I don't know. Anyway, so this is that. I would say this project is probably done. Maybe I put a little bit nicer edge on with like a diamond stone or something. But you know, it's already good enough. So and later on I'm going to have some projects here that will come up. I have this I got this induction forge. It's actually I guess a better one, I'm hoping. 2000 watts, and it allows for I think 24 volts, 36 volts, 70 volts application. I'm most likely going to replace this with something bigger, and the pump, I don't know yet. So this is a project that'll come up very soon, because I'm going to do a little bit more knife making. And as you can see here, there's always something going on, like wood carvings and things. And also I'm already working on a project making a knife with a sheath out of these two components. It's a 1/2-inch black pipe and 3/8 what's it called, a threaded rod. I'm just not sure yet about the design. I have a couple of pretty good ideas already. Maybe I make several and just show the process, and then a couple of pictures of the different knives I made with this. And I think this probably concludes the weird hack and slash knife for my friend. I hope you enjoyed, and maybe you learned something, or maybe you probably knew it all already. Who knows? Well, that's it. Okay, the fishing reel out. Thanks for watching.